Are you ready? It's time for Fifth Quarter on KALB. Sponsored by Christus St. Francis Cabrini Hospital.
8 weeks down, 2 more to go in the regular season. Welcome to week 9 of the fifth quarter. I'm Dylan Domingue.
And I'm Nigel Dyson.
We're less than 2 weeks till the playoffs. Every team fighting for a spot in the playoffs. You're going to chance to host in the postseason. Every game at this point, major postseason implications this time of year. Let's start it off with a big district showdown in Alexandria tonight. West Monroe coming in looking to spoil the Trojans senior night. After a quick 3-and-out, Ash's JT Lindsay's burst out of a cannon, and he will not be caught. 50 yards down the field for the first score of the game. It would be 7-0 going into the second.
Is that Tebow?
It has to be. That's iCarly. First play of the quarter, West Monroe goes for the fake punt. They get it. It's a new set of downs, and the Rebels go marching. Quarterback Hayden Federico hits the sidelines. The cameraman loses track of him, and then he comes right back into the frame. Biggest play of the Rebels here in the first half, and they cap it off with this rollout and throw it to the backside of the field. David Moore catches it, and we're tied up at 7. Number 7 ties us up at 7. Trojans get the ball back with 2 minutes to go. Coach Bachman said it's time for a drive. 8 seconds left. Ty Feaster puts his head down, gets swarmed around the 2. Ash deciding with 1 second left to kick a field goal instead of going for a touchdown. That puts them up 10-7 going into the break. And West Monroe would sneak out with a 28-23 win. You have to think it might have been a difference at the end of that first half.
Oh, yeah. Taking you to Gina, where the 8-0 Giants looking to stay perfect as they hosted KALB Parish. Gina also looking to clinch that outright district title. Zach Barker in the red zone, and Zarek Jones gets the ball and hits the defender with a jab like Muhammad Ali. Touchdown, Gina. Jones would find the end zone 4 times this half. Gina in the red zone again, so we got to give it to Mr. Jones. Once again, touchdown, Gina. Gina would go for 2 as Jones finds the box for 2. Mama, there goes that man. 16-0 Gina. KALB Parish trying to make something happen, and Zay Brown jumps over his defender like he's playing leapfrog. But then Gina D. Hammock says, all right, enough is enough. He picks out the ball like an afro, and the end zone is wide open like Ben Simmons at the 3-point line. Touchdown. Gina would go into half up 30-7. They would steamroll CP 60-7 final. Gina is district champs for the 4th year in a row.
Is Ben Simmons even playing?
Yeah, he's back.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Take it back. Off to Menard with a win tonight against Oakdale. First-year head coach David Perkins could give the Eagles their first district title in a decade. Eagles down 12 here. Aiden Moran with the keeper, and that's some hard running. Gets inside of the red zone. It will set this up. Gavin Hilton with the quickness, racing in for the score. He hits the Shadur Sanders. I know you like this one, the celebration after with the watch. 12-7. Oakdale on offense, and quarterback Dakota Johnson. He runs about 50 yards to pick up 8. He reverses field twice, breaks this tackle. He's going to cut back up the middle. All of this for a first down and a drive that ends in a punt. Eagles defense, they force it back on offense now as Hilton show with the QB power, gets Menard inside the 10, and a few plays later, we start the 4th. Cooper Scott powers it in. Eagles respond in the second half to take a 13-12 lead. I think we're still looking for a final in this one. We will get that as soon as we can. Some other scores from tonight. Leesville pulling away from Eunice in the second half, 48-24. Bunkie put last week's loss to Gina in the rearview mirror with a 53-point win at Bolton tonight. Much more to come, including our game of the week that went to overtime. We'll have all those highlights and post-game reaction coming up with Mary Margaret's after the break.
Tune Hospitality Group's family of restaurants, including Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen and Outlaws Barbecue. Louisiana's most wanted, always the winning call.
Down in DeVille, it was a big battle of the Big Cats as Buckeye hosts Marksville. On their first drive, Kyron Pryor gets the handoff and breaks through the pile and breaks away for the touchdown. Buckeye had a slow start, but Adam Bronox finds Jesse Stanley for the score. Tigers cut the lead to 18. Early second quarter, Elydrick Murray takes the snap, flip option to Kyron Pryor. He is able to get away and show off the speed. He would have 4 touchdowns in the half. Oof. Marksville up 15, 10 seconds left in the half. Murray looking to score again. Ends up fumbling. Michael Jenkins scoops it up and takes it 85 yards to the house, cutting the lead to 8 going into half. Marksville will go on to win this one, though, 56 to 49.
What a shootout we had there. It was a good game in the Ville tonight. Also on Rapides Parish, we had perhaps the game of the night. It is the only local game that needed more than 4 quarters to decide the winner. And for that, it is our cool game of the week, as always, sponsored by Southern Air Heating and Cooling. It is a battle of who might get a first round bye into the playoffs. And let me tell you, hold on to your horses. Get a seatbelt, grab some popcorn. You'll be here for a while. This one was crazy. Peabody 6-2 taking on Tioga 6-2. The Indians won this matchup by 55 a year ago. Coach Harry Coleman said not tonight. Kickoff, Josh Lloyd gets it, but Jordan Veal sets the tone early with that hit. Tioga on offense. Case Malone, the sophomore quarterback, hands it off to the running back for the 4-yard touchdown. Tioga gets on the board 6-0. Great response. Peabody trying to find their stride as it's 6-0 after the first. Halfway through the second, Larry Roberts hands it off to a former ACA Athlete of the Week, Dartavian DePass, slicing and dicing his way through the Indian defense.
It's a wrap.
He has reservations on the reservation for 6. 89 yards to the house, and we're knotted up at 6. It's a 3-and-out for Tioga. Indians punt, and usually it's Jacorian Norris making big plays on special teams. TJ Hullaby says, you know what? It's my time. It's prime time. Bounces right to him. Turns on the Jets. Indians falling left and right. He's going to coast into the end zone. 77 yards for the touchdown. Peabody up 12-6 at this point, but the halftime speech must have worked. Malone hands it off to the running back. It's another touch. Actually, that's a Peabody touchdown there. There's the running back, and the Indians get within 4. Larry Roberts, he's going to look for his receiver, but the ball is going to come out on the sack, giving great field position to Tioga. And Case Malone hands it off to none other than his running back. A big night, Kenny Pontier. Third of the night, we have ourselves a game here on the reservation. Indians take a lead 26-18, but now to the 4th, turnover on downs for Tioga, and it's Dartavian DePass making it work, 43 yards, and we are tied at 26, so you know what that means. We got to go to overtime, and Tioga says, I want to play defense first, because why not? But it's Dartavian DePass once again. He gets into the end zone. They're not able to convert a 2-point conversion. Jacorian Norris makes it in. He ties
What
it.
a dive.
All you got to do is convert the extra point, and a freshman kicker does it.
Wow. What a moment.
They win it. Tioga defends their home turf 33-32. It's a thriller right before Halloween. Of course, Mary Margaret Ellison is a big fan of spooky season. She surely must have loved this one. She joins us live with Tioga's head coach, Kevin Cook, now.
That's right, Dylan. I do love spooky season, and this definitely was a thriller. I know Coach Cook was on the edge of his seat, but just going back to halftime, okay, this halftime speech obviously worked. What did you kind of say to them at halftime, knowing they were down 6 points?
Just that, you know, what we were doing was fine. You know, we had given up one big play, and they given up a special teams play. But what we were doing on offense was fine. We were a hair off the mark there. You know, defensively, at that point, up until just that one play, I felt like our defense was in the right positions. But just to relax and go win. Like, it wasn't real complicated. We didn't change anything on offense or defense. We just said we just got to go do what we're doing, but we got to do it a little bit better. And we just got to go win the next 24 minutes.
So usually we see Travis Adams in the running back spot, right? But now we saw Kenny Pontier. I mean, what a game for him. He had the first touchdown, pretty much had a complete game.
Yeah, and he's a great football player. He's a young sophomore and just a strong kid. He's very quiet, easily, very coachable. And we really high on Kenny. We started him on defense a little bit this year too. So he's kind of a Swiss Army knife. He can do a few different things for us. But tonight he toted the rock. He did a good job.
So obviously we have to talk about your freshman kicker, Ethan Bridges. I know you said he's on the soccer team, but he's mostly a football player. But just going into, I know whenever Jacorian Norris scored the touchdown, but what was the thought process going like? Do we go for 2, or do we have the trust in him?
Well, there was never any indecision on my part. I knew we had to kick it. And we do have a lot of faith in Ethan. Now he's young, and tonight was a big moment for him. A couple of times maybe, it wasn't always, the kicker, and it always gets blamed on the kicker, but sometimes it's really not. Maybe, he missed the one, but he made the one that he needed to, and that's the one that matters to me right now. So.
That is true. Coach Cook, congratulations.
Thank you, and we just say, we thank the Lord for this tonight. And great high school football game. I hope everybody, felt like they got their money's worth.
Oh, yeah, I will say I'm sorry for picking against you. Dylan, Nigel, back to you.
But guess what? I didn't pick against them, so I'm a winner tonight.
Yeah.
Senior night in Pineville left a sour taste for the Rebels. They're taking on West Washita tonight. Chiefs started off strong in the second quarter with a touchdown run, and after a few stops by the Rebels defense, the Chiefs muddled their way into another score. It's 14-0 Chiefs. Fourth down for the Rebels. Watch this game of some hot potato. I don't really know what's going on here. Akeem Mix with the reception, then he fumbles the ball, but it bounces to Jalen Whitty. Whitty's going to zigzag his way down the field. I guess that's how you draw it up. Maybe.
I don't think you draw that up.
All that work only to end in a turnover on downs after 2 penalties.
Ref lost his hat.
Yeah, the Rebels would stay alive for a little bit. The defense, this was really a defensive matchup. They get the pick here. Unfortunately, they could not turn it into points. The Chiefs would go on and win a low-scoring game in this one, 21-7. So plenty of action. So we have some plays of the week. Our Farm Bureau plays of the week are coming up next.
The fifth quarter score ticker is sponsored by Hickson Autoplex. Hickson has it.
Tiger Stadium in Sabine Parish, reigning state champs, looking to continue their decade-long winning streak in district play against Red River. Hayden Evans hands off to Mason Leach, and he gets to the corner for the first score of the game at the Foghorn, blaring early in this one. Jeremiah James turning. He makes one cut back upfield for a nice 50-yard plus run. That was his 15th rushing touchdown of the season. And now Manny defense with a sack, almost a safety about the 1-yard line, but this team certainly found a rhythm from the beginning of the year. The Tigers go on and dominate tonight. Red River 52-18. So with all the great action we've seen tonight, it's time to reveal our plays of the night presented by Farm Bureau. For play nominee number 1, we go back to the game you just saw. Jeremiah James, one cut, and he's gone. My favorite part of this highlight, the foghorn starts going off
as he's running
at the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
Before he even gets to the end zone, that's how you know he's automatic. 15 touchdowns on the year for him. Play nominee number 2, we saw it. Special teams, usually something good has to happen. TJ Hullaby knows how to make it happen. I like the block. The block should be up there with play nominee as well, because that's what seals it.
It makes the play.
And TJ Hullaby also races almost untouched all the way about to the 20-yard line. Fortunately, Peabody would come up short in this one.
Gina's D. Hammock in this one against Caldwell Parish picks the ball like an afro, and the end zone is wide open. Once again, like Ben Simmons at the 3-point line. Touchdown, Gina.
Gina is rolling. They are 9-0 on the season. The
Could they make the dome?
They're on the way to it for sure.
Only one can help.
Yeah, before we go, we want to thank Antune Hospitality Group's family of restaurants for feeding our hungry crew once again tonight. We got some wings, so it was pretty good.
They're pretty good.
All right, that was it. Week 9 in the books. 1 week left of the regular season before the playoffs. Plenty of playoff caliber matchups coming up next week on the 5th quarter. But join us later for the 5th quarter post-game show. Up plenty more highlights and sound from around the area from tonight. We'll see you there.
Can't get enough football? KALB's 5th quarter continues online in minutes with more highlights, post-game interviews, and analysis on KALB.com and Facebook Live. Sponsored by Christus St. Francis